What's up, guys? Welcome to the James Boudreau podcast, where I sit down with people from all walks of life to talk about their stories, experiences, and ideas. This podcast is brought to you by Watson Motors, the official studio sponsor. If you're in need of a Jeep, Ram, or Dodge, or whatever, these guys have you covered with great deals and even better service. So hit them up in Manistee, Benzie, or Ludington, or check them out online at watsonmotors.com. Listen, support the people that support the show. Now let's get into it. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
You got a list for me?
Oh, I got things I want to make sure I bring up just for funsies. Just for funsy stuff. Yeah. One of the things I wanted to ask you was, how much time do you spend on social media? Like just fucking around looking at stuff?
Too much.
Really?
I mean, I don't post anything.
I noticed. Lately, I've noticed. But you do like look at all my memes I send you.
Oh, yeah.
I spend way too much time scrolling.
Yeah. I actually, so if it wasn't for work, I'd totally turn off notifications because I get 40.
From Messenger?
Yeah, and just from Instagram, and I get like 40 every day. So like later on at night, or whenever I get a minute, I'll sit there for like an hour and go through all of them. Well, Thomas will send me like 40 in a row. So it takes me a half hour to get through it.
So it's like when you give me the haha 3 days later on one of mine.
Yeah, it's because I like finally got to it, you know? I don't spend a ton of time on there. It feels like I do, though, you know? I
know. Who the fuck was I talking to the other day about it? And they were talking about screen time. And, it might have been Dan Saylor when he was, well, maybe it wasn't. Anyways, whoever the hell I was talking to, saying like their screen time, I think it was from a kid. It might have been, anyways, that a kid was like, oh, my screen time says I'm on for like 18 hours a day. And I was like, well, how do you sleep? But the other thing is that I found out was that screen time is also, you got a MacBook?
Yeah.
So it's all connected. So like I keep this open because I got Google on.
Yeah.
This is tracking screen time.
Of
it's
all
the same
screens.
as your phone, so it's like all screens.
Okay.
So if your stuff is like all connected.
Where is it in settings?
I don't know.
General?
I checked. I get a notification.
I turned that off, too.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I'm only like 4 hours a day, believe it or not. This episode is brought to you by Brandon Ball, broker-owner of Dwelling Realty Keller Williams, Northern Michigan. Are you looking to sell your home? Then look no further. When you list your home with Brandon Ball, you'll get a trusted advisor who will guide you through the entire selling process. With extensive knowledge of the local market, he'll help price your home competitively to attract the right buyers. And with proven marketed strategies, your home will be seen by the most qualified of buyers. With 17 years in the business, you'll have someone experienced who's on your side. Contact Brandon today to get started selling your home. 231-690-4981. That's 231-690-4981. Or Brandon at dwellingrealty.com.
I mean,
which still is a lot.
Yeah, I feel like mine's going to be
4 hours a day is a lot.
Mine's going to be way too much. Because again, I have a iMac at the office, and I have a MacBook.
Yeah.
And I don't know where it is.
I asked because of the. It seems like part of my daily existence is just to open up Facebook to see what I'm supposed to be angry about for the day.
Oh, that's fun. I play that Lotto 47 because it's like the Michigan one.
Yeah.
You know? And it's only $1 or whatever. And I tell Sarah all the time, I'm like, man, I want to win this just so I can yell at somebody and not feel like.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing I have
so
definitely
wild.
tried to do over the last 6-7 months is I don't interact online.
It's tough.
It's tough because I'll see shit or people send. So I did the thing where you can reset your algorithm.
Yeah.
You know, on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
you can just fucking start over.
Mm-hmm.
Which has been perfect. So now it's just a bunch of people running, working out, and chicks with really fucking tight asses.
People eating weird stuff that you send me.
Oh, the eating stuff? I've got
so weird,
full on, people just, what do they call it, mukbanging? But it's usually big, gross people, and they're just fucking chowing, and I'm just sitting in the chair going,
Yeah, like a whole chicken.
yeah.
But not even butchered up.
There's
like
one guy that I
cooked
follow. I
and-
sent you a few times, where he's like, McDonald's has got a new menu item, and he fucking just devours like a whole like meal in under a minute, and all you hear is him breathing and chewing. You know,
People probably have like that's the only things they look at.
oh for sure, dude. I mean,
It's
this
so
guy's got like
strange.
1 million plus followers on TikTok,
Like,
and all he's
what?
doing is just killing himself one bite at a time.
Right.
You know.
Well, live your best life while you can, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose. When's the last time you took a shit without your phone?
Since before phones were a thing.
I was thinking about that the other day, dude. Like, I will be on the verge of explosive diarrhea, running to the bathroom and be like,
Where's my phone?
I forgot my phone.
Run back
Go
and
back
get
and
it.
get it. Just so I could sit there.
My leg fell asleep this morning. My left leg.
Oh, my God. Speaking of taking dumps, this podcast is already off the rails. When I was, in my other space, didn't have a restroom, right?
Right.
But Steve has a toilet in the basement, and he was like, "Well, if you need to use it, it's down there. But like, you gotta pour water down the tank.
Yeah. You got to fill it up.
You gotta fill it up." And I was in there. I never used it.
Yeah.
I never used it.
I can already see where this is going.
So I had my daughter with me. It was one of the days that we were packing everything up to get ready to move into this new studio. And I was kind of putzing along. It never fails. It was always like right at 9 o'clock in the morning. I got to go number 2 for the second time of the day. And like I was telling you earlier, I felt like I was spending $5 a day at Trophies just so I could poop.
Yeah.
But anyways, I was like, oh.
Basement it is.
So I ran to the front door, I locked it. I told Mary, I said, I'm going to be downstairs for a minute. And like, I'd never been down there, but like the one time he showed me the space. They were out of town, I think in Florida or something, picking up her parents.
Where is it?
I couldn't find the light switch.
Oh, yeah.
But I remembered where the toilet was. So I'm like fumbling around with my phone, I put the flashlight on, and I'm like, oh, there it is. And then I'm like, I got to go. So then I just go. And it was one of those where, like, number one, it doesn't stop. And then it's like, Sharpie marker wiping for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, shit, you got to pour water in this thing to flush it. And I couldn't find the water.
Yeah. Yeah, use like a 50-gallon drum.
Well, he had jugs of tap water down there. So
Really?
So I found them.
Okay.
And then I'm like, again, there was no water in the whole place, so I'm like,
Right.
so I got to go to the store and I buy like 4 or 5 jugs and replace them. Definitely knew I took a shit in there because like I had all these empty plastic jugs. Trying to get this thing to go down.
Just stick the jug in the back.
I'm crying. Hey, but you know what? That's the first time in I don't know how long I didn't actually sit there and scroll.
Because you had work to do. Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, so that's that story. Oh my God. I'm going to have to put this part at the end. These will be fun clips. Oh man. So how's the fuck the phone, dude?
I was gonna see about that screen time because I was like, man, where is that? I thought it was under just like my name.
I think it's under. You got to go to like settings and screen time or something.
Actually, I could probably just search, right?
Yeah, where is you can just. But yeah, you just search it in screen time. I think this is good TV here.
Right.
Screen time right there.
Yeah, here we go.
My daily average is 3 hours and 56 minutes. I'm actually down 11% this week. That's still quite a lot, though.
Wait, how did you find?
So go into settings and just search screen time. And it should, yeah, right there. Holy fuck, bro!
Yeah.
What are you doing? 14 hours and 2 minutes?
Right? I told you.
Good God, man.
I'm on a computer
And I'm a fucking practitioner of this
70%
shit.
of the day.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the average.
Does it tell you what apps you use the most? Pornhub.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
app and website
That's
activity.
crazy. 14 hours, bro. Facebook.
Marketplace.
Yeah. Yeah. Is this item still
Messages.
available?
Look at messages, dude. 5 hours. I mean, that's work.
Yeah. That's work.
Yeah. Instagram, 2 hours. That's going through
All the
messages.
shit that I send you.
Safari, that's just learning stuff.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, hey, wait,
Mine would
what?
probably be YouTube. I should check it. I'm on YouTube quite a bit. I like
Mail, 2 hours. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's wild.
Right?
That's,
Yeah, brain rot.
yeah.
No wonder I'm brain dead on Friday.
Marketplace.
Yeah, work tomorrow. Doesn't matter.
Oh, you're a realtor. You work 7 days a week.
Yeah, so
Right?
Sort of.
Isn't that what they say?
I mean,
Have I sent you the shit from the, speaking of stuff that I send you, because I think because I send you so much stuff, I get a bunch of real
Realtor
estate
stuff. Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a dude, he'll probably start popping up on your feed now, that unless he isn't already, but it's always like him talking to somebody, but you don't see who he's talking to. And he's like, and I get a customer that calls me, and we sit down and I'm going over the comps and I'm telling them, this is how much you need to sell your house for. And they're like, well, we really want to get this much more, so we need to list it at that. And he goes, and I tell him, I guess you need to look for another realtor. And I'm like, oh, is that what you tell them? When I'm presenting a listing agreement to a potential client and they say they want to think about it, if you don't know how to handle that objection, you don't need to be in real estate.
yeah. I've seen that. Yeah. You have sent me that. Yeah. I think it's like, it's an account for people who actually do it so they can,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's the speakeasy? How's everything going up there, dude? I haven't talked to you in a while.
Not much, man. We're still waiting on those stairs.
Oh, they're not in yet?
No.
I do keep looking over there, but
The frost laws, well, they just got lifted Monday. So in theory now we can get a crane and whatever back there. So I'm hoping that'll happen next week when I'm gone. I just come back and it's just there.
yeah, stairs there.
Yeah, that would be awesome. But I mean, that's kind of the bottleneck at the moment because all the clean out and everything is going to be way easier to put a dumpster in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Go straight out as opposed to up and down and up and down and up and down. So
Then what's the next phase?
next phase is drawings, which that won't take that long, a month. And then,
You build your castle.
yeah.
That's going to be so rad, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I hope it happens within a reasonable... I mean, Willa graduates in 3 years.
Isn't that wild?
She's taking driver's training.
I just had her driver's instructor on the podcast last
Saw that. Yeah. That's it. That's him.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah.
He's good shit.
Yeah.
He's good shit.
No, I mean, I don't know if I could do that. I mean, I will let her drive.
Yeah.
When she has to get her 100 hours in, hey, you go for it. I'll sit shotgun. We'll figure it all out. But, fresh? I don't know about that, man. That's scary.
See, that's what I was talking to him about. I'm like, this is wild, dude. Like, when we did driver's training, now, granted, I mean, I don't remember my dad being like, hey, you can drive, before driver's training. I think I would remember that. That never happened.
I'm pretty sure I did.
But, I mean, I don't know if it was different down in Lake Orion, but we went when we turned 14, turning 15. He took driver's training at the school, and you watched all the videos of people getting killed in car accidents, and then you drove with the instructors, which were our gym teachers, a few times.
Twice.
It wasn't much, dude.
Right.
It was you drove once. So we would drive from just kind of putts around the city a little bit, and it wasn't far and it wasn't long. There'd be fucking 4 or 5 of us in the car.
Right. And you all had to do the
We
same.
all took turns. And then the driving test, Mr. Wayberg, Mike's grandfather.
That's wild.
Yeah. We drove from the high school, back roads, all the way up to Onekama. Lakeshore Drive, nice and slow. No highway driving, no fucking nut traffic, nothing. Turned around up in Onekama somewhere. Next person drove back. That was the driving test. And then we went to the state of Michigan and took the paper test and got a permit. And then you just had to drive until you were 16. There was no
like when
check-in.
you turned 16, you just got a license.
You just got your driver's license.
Right.
You went and took the final exam and got your driver's license. That's it. So I give him all the kudos in the world for putting his life in some little kid's hands every single day, dude.
Because like a lot of, again, like Willa, I'm not worried about that. But like, I mean, you never know how much anyone, she drives a golf cart around and like whatever, like basics already has that. But like, what if there's nobody, you know what I mean? Like, there's adults who've never driven before.
Oh, yeah,
imagine doing that.
Just waiting till you're 18 even.
Right.
And then just going and getting your license with no road test.
Right.
I mean, you have to have a road test to get a motorcycle license, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
No matter
get the
what
endorsement.
age.
Yeah, you have to like go do you have to like, Can you imagine? Like,
I don't know. When, because his mom is actually one of the instructors too. And she was the one that did, shout out Darlene, did Helena's. And, so either you or Jordan or Sarah has to be there in the car for their road test, their final exam. Which I was like, what? Like, I don't want to do that. But you have to now. You got to sit in the back seat.
Yeah.
And they tell you straight up, you are not allowed to say anything.
Right.
If you speak up, she automatically fails. And I'm like, okay. So
that's probably a good rule.
It is a good rule, but it's
based on.
But I'm in the back seat,
sports.
She almost failed before she even got on the road because she hit a cone parking.
Yeah.
And like that's like so many points or whatever.
Yeah.
But I told this on his podcast too. But the one of her girlfriends who had just got her passed her road test was like, they do the same course every time. This is what it is. Bump, a bump, a bump, a bump. And you got to turn into the West Shore Hospital parking lot. And then you turn around in there and then you pull out.
Yeah.
And we were like, all right, cool. So then I would take her on this test drive. We did it like 5 or 6 times. And I'm like, you're doing great. You're doing great. So we get into the actual test. I'm in the back seat. I'm like, she's doing great. There was a couple times where I was like, but she was doing great. And we were coming up on the hospital. And Arlene was getting ready to say, all right, we're going to turn left up here. And Helena fucking put the right blinker on and started turning into the hospital. And she was like, no, where are you going? And so she overcorrected back into the road. And I'm like, oh no, it's all over, dog. But she was like, oh, I thought we were going there. And she's like, I don't know who told you that, but you got to turn up over here. And I'm in the back seat like I told her. And this is what we practiced the whole time, which made sense to turn left because then you could just easily turn right back on to go south.
Yeah.
Dad almost fucked that up for you, kid. Sorry.
But shouldn't they try to turn left out? And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With an instructor.
Yeah.
I don't know. But again, what do I know? It's scary. It's scary.
The left turn onto a highway is always the most difficult turn.
Yeah.
Like,
I hate it.
You know what's going to be...
I hate doing that.
What's going to be crazy is when the social club thing opens.
Oh, yeah, on that curve and on the hill.
I mean,
yeah.
They should put a roundabout there. I mean, or
That's the caption to those. They should put a roundabout.
They should put a roundabout there. People losing their fucking minds over everything. You know, that's my one vice is like overheard.
Yeah.
It's some of the shit that gets posted. So I started like becoming members in the overheards of like Traverse City, Petoskey.
Yeah.
You know?
I did that too for a minute.
Yeah, because they're just as wild. I mean, we're not on an island here.
Right.
Yeah. fucking
No, I
nuts.
got sucked into that yesterday with like the vacation rental thing.
Oh, that's on my list. I was going to ask you about short-term rentals if you have an opinion on it, or I mean, from this clip right here, I'm going to definitely clip this part right here where I'm like, I think people need to fucking take a chill pill.
Oh, sure.
Because at city council, when they were like, I think they voted down whatever plan that they had the other night.
Yeah.
And I think it was because they want to make sure it's right and like everything is really lined up instead of just rushing to pass something.
Yeah, my understanding, there were some pieces missing.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what happens if you have a vacation rental and you have your certificate and you go to sell it? Does that transfer? And is it worded clearly that it transfers or doesn't transfer even? I mean, I think that was one of the things that was like just kind of implied, but it was
that
like,
it does or doesn't. Right.
Right. So I think it was implied that it does transfer more than not, but it wasn't like clear. To my understanding, I didn't read it. I wasn't at the meeting, but I have talked to a few people so far just because I was curious what the hoopla was about. And I know the majority of the hoopla is just, no vacation rentals, right?
Yeah.
Whatever, I get it. My whole thing was when I was talking to the person, I asked about, all right, what's this exempt area? And like, you know what I mean? So that I can figure out how many actual vacation rentals are outside of this exempt zone, right? Where the cap actually applies. And I haven't done the numbers myself, but my understanding is there's anywhere between like 50 and 60 within the zone that would be capped, right? And what was there, 165 was what their cap was? So like, that's 100 more that would be allowed. But I think that's where people get upset, right? They're like, that's too many or whatever. But then the areas that are exempt are where the majority of people would want a vacation rental anyway, because it's like water or a condo or downtown or, you know what I mean? Like the places where somebody would want to rent one, right? So the other areas are like the outliers, and they're probably in a neighborhood, right? And I get that, that they'd want to cap that. But at the same time, the market kind of already does that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like we were trying to figure out, like, okay, if you take out all these ones that are in the prime spots where vacation rentals would, like where you'd want to stay in one, take out all the pricing of those ones, take that out. Use the pricing from the ones that are in the zone that would be capped. Like what's their nightly rates,
Yeah.
And we were just throwing numbers out there, like $175 a night. I mean, for something that's not on the water, it's not a condo, you don't have a pool, you don't have any amenities really. It's just a house, and it's nice to have a kitchen instead of being in a hotel room or whatever. I understand that. But is it more than $200 a night? I mean, I can't imagine it is, for just a regular old house with nothing, you know what I mean? None of those amenities like water and whatever. And then we started doing the math, and I'm like, all right, say you get 4 nights a week in the prime weeks, which is usually 10, but we even did it at like 12.
Yeah.
Right? And it came out to be like, I don't know, like $8,600 a year that you'd make from that. And then we're like, all right, so let's go on the low end of what could you buy one of these houses for? And like, you can't get one for under 200 grand, right? So we were like even pretty liberal, saying, hey, you can buy one of these for 200 grand, which you really can't. But for the sake of math, right? 200 grand. All right. And now your non-homestead is what? 6.2%, basically. The $8,600 or whatever. I mean, I'm not doing the math in my head right now.
Yeah.
Minus your taxes, you end up with like $2,000. And, so it's not like a money-making thing. So I think that's why the people that are frustrated with it, they think people are buying up these houses and taking away from other people to make money, but you're not making any money. You know what I mean? Like, those people that buy those are going to eventually come up here and either stay in that house part-time or eventually retire there. So those are the people that are buying those ones in the
Right.
capped area, or the capped area, right? And the prices aren't going to be as high for those either. But again, taking that option away isn't going to make the housing any more affordable. It's still based on what the market says it's worth, right? So that doesn't change that aspect of it either. So I hear that argument a lot. It's like, oh yeah, but if, the demand is there. Well, the demand isn't there for vacation rental to buy one.
Right.
Right? There's other reasons why people do that in those areas. Maybe downtown or a condo, I understand. Like somebody could say, hey, you know what? This might actually pay for itself. And then I get to use it in all the other time. That,
or it's an investment
I mean?
in the future where you just...
Sure. Yeah. I guess. I mean, it's still, again, like you don't make any money, really, I mean, you're not cash flowing anything.
I know, when I was looking at that building with you, and just doing the math, I'm like, what am I going to buy this for? Because every dollar I make
goes to
putting it back into it.
Right.
And then I'm back where I was when I sold the store.
Right.
I just got a big chunk of property that I fucking have to deal with.
Right.
I'm good.
Well, and that's how all this stuff is. Like, it's not like Florida where you can just rent that thing out for like 12 months out of the year,
100%.
or 11.
Yeah.
Say you have like a month of vacancy sporadically throughout there. Okay, now you're making money, but like here, you're not. That's not how it is, right?
I'm going to have Bill Gamble is coming on the podcast next month, and that's one of the things I wanted to have him kind of elaborate more on is this whole short-term rental thing, because I mean, I don't have short-term rentals.
Neither do I.
And I don't particularly see the issue with them, really. And I mean, I'm a capitalist. If somebody wants to, no matter how small the amount is, try to make a little extra scratch, and they're doing it this way, whatever. That I just don't see the I don't see short-term rentals being the reason why property, like housing that's for sale. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't see it taken away from that.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, is a first-time buyer going to buy one of those anyways?
Right.
So short-term rentals, like Ludington, right? Like, you can only have a short-term rental in a certain area, which my understanding is Ludington is going to relax their ordinance. They're changing it, is what I heard. And it's going to open it up to a lot more people to do that there, which they haven't been able to do in a long time. But they don't have lower prices in Ludington because they regulated short-term rentals to a certain area. The price is the price, right? Like, it's set by the other house that was similar that sold. Like, that's it. It has nothing to do with how you use it. It's the price of the house, right?
Man. And like, it's that as a non-realtor looking at like the housing market and land prices and stuff. I always tell myself when you come in here, we're not gonna talk about fucking real estate.
Yeah, that's fine.
But this shit just kind of comes up in my head while you're sitting here. Is it incredibly difficult to like price a house? And I say that because sometimes I look, because I'm addicted to Zillow, and I'm like, I can't believe that house is listed at that price. And then I say, I can't believe that thing sold at that amount.
Yeah.
Betsy and I have been, I mean, for the last year, we've been like, all right, this isn't our forever home. We want to either, like most people, you want to find the perfect place or build. So we've been kind of like, we're leaving it up in God's hands. We'll let the universe dictate it for us. But I'm like, Christ, the longer you wait. I saw on Zillow 5 acres wooded for sale on Hill Road.
Yeah, it's pending, or it just sold.
It was like $100,000.
Yeah.
And I sent it to Betsy and was like, this is fucking nuts. I mean, I remember when it was like $1,000 an acre back in the day.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like that long ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
It's been like 10 years now, which it's funny because the older you get, right? It goes by so fast.
It does.
And you're like, oh my God, that was 10 years ago. And maybe that's a drastic change for 10 years time. I agree. But we had that spurt there where that happened to everyone, right? No matter where you lived, no matter what state you lived in, like that time frame, everything just skyrocketed, right? And I mean, that's the thing is like, barring any crazy like meltdown, I mean, it's not going to get cheaper. I mean, it's funny when people are like, I'm going to wait for prices to come down.
Yeah, I'm
like,
waiting for interest rates to go back down.
Yeah, that just, to me, that's not. They don't have all the information.
Yeah.
Right. Like they don't know that that's not really. That's like being like, you're trying to buy this piece of art. You know what I mean? And you're like, I'm going to wait until the market cools off for that particular kind of art. Like, does that happen? I don't think that happens. No. I think just over time, it's just worth more. Money's worth less. So it's just a higher number, but it's all relative. Right. I don't know.
It's true. I can't remember what movie it was. Maybe it was iRobot. And Will Smith is at the bar with one of his cop buddies. And they both had like a Bud Light or something. And he's like, I got it. And it was like $107 for 2 beers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I guess it's really far in the future. So.
Yeah, right.
But like nowadays,
it could be 10 years from now.
I mean, it could be tomorrow.
Right.
I look at some prices some days and I'm like, how much is it for scrambled eggs?
Right.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. You know what I noticed too is like I always buy expensive eggs at Meijer, right? Yeah. Like I just like them better, right? And like
I buy the organic eggs.
Yeah, so do I, right? And they were like historically way more.
Yeah.
Like almost triple.
Yeah.
And they seem to have not really changed that much.
Those ones haven't changed, but it's like the cheaper ones got more expensive.
Yeah.
I noticed.
Yeah.
It's like $7 for a
organic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. I mean, that's coming from such a place of privilege. No,
but they haven't changed,
eat like 4
right?
or 5 of them bastards.
It's like the demand is still the same for those.
Yeah.
Right? But they taste so much better.
They do.
And so I just buy those.
Anyway. They're not full of glyphosate.
Dude, I had a crazy dream last night that I was on like guys' grocery games. And I had to make a pizza omelet, and I fucked it all up, and I, like, lost. Like, I didn't even finish.
It'd be an expensive omelet.
Yeah, right? No, it was weird. But then I woke up, and I was like, man, I want an omelet. But we had no butter. But, like, Chris Tucker. I'm like, how do you not have butter, dude? What is happening?
Did I tell you we started eating meat again?
No.
Yeah. All those vegan memes you sent me, talking shit to me, changed me, dude. Changed me, bro.
My work is done here.
Actually, it's been about 6 months. And I shouldn't. So about 6 months ago, Betsy was like, "What do you think about like kind of reincorporating
lean
meat in the diet again?" And because we've always been like, I just don't want to have like those flare-ups I was getting with my RA, dude, were fucking horrible. But we'd been eating eggs now for a little over a year, and
so good.
I used to get these duck eggs from this lady. The motherfuckers were.
Debo's got them.
Oh, I should get all of them. Anyways, and in part it was like what we like for our youngest too. Where it's like she's basically eating what we eat. And we're just throwing eggs at her constantly, so she gets that protein and all that good stuff from the eggs. But so I was like, all right, yeah, let's try it. So we'll kind of just dip our toes in it. So like 4 or 5 months ago, no, it wasn't even that long ago, maybe 3 months ago, I went and got ground beef, but I made sure I got like organic, grass-fed, no
Laura's or whatever.
Like, and I can't believe how expensive it was. This big and I was
like the sometimes,
bro,
like $9.
Yeah, dude, that's how much it was. And I'm like, oh shit's changed. It's been a minute. It's been 6 years, right?
Yeah, I made tacos with it the other day. $9.
I got some. I'm gonna finish telling the story, but I did get some Wagyu, which was fucking.
Yeah.
That shit was really good.
Yeah.
Again, this is privilege at this table. So I had all the kids over, so there was 5 of us, and so out of this, I made 4 patties, and Betsy and I split one.
Mm-hmm.
And now I did not like perfectly cook this thing. I cooked it till it was fucking cooked all the way through, because it had been so long since we had meat. I'm like, I'm not gonna risk anything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cook this bastard. So everybody got a hamburger. Betsy and I split one, and it was only like, it wasn't very big at all.
Mm-hmm.
And
$2.25 each.
Yeah. No shit.
But still, it's not that bad, really, considering. Anyway.
Blew ass the next day like you would not believe, dude.
I bet.
We're both laying in bed like, oh man, that was crazy. We're not doing that.
That tiny bit of fat.
That tiny bit.
Yeah.
So then, I got a steak, like a ribeye one night, and I actually just seared it, sliced it, and we put it in tacos, and that was it. So, but I just had one taco, so it's been a kind of a gradual, salmon. Oh god, dude! Oh, I gotta tell you, bro.
Bluefish, that salmon, like you can't.
I gotta tell you, like, we went out to eat Tuesday night. Betsy's accounting firm had their April 15th dinner party.
Yeah.
At the Windward.
Yeah.
And I don't know, this is the first time I've ever ate there, but like, shout out, because everybody got something different and everything was wonderful. And Betsy got the salmon, and the salmon was fucking really good. And I'm like, wow. But then I'm like, the more that I'm eating meat, the more I'm going back to my, like I'm 25. I'm like, give me the fish and chips, and get some more of these, the French fries with the, what's the,
like the loaded? What?
No, the French. I'm having a brain fire here.
Truffle fries.
Truffle fries, dude. So good.
Yeah.
So I ate a bunch of fried food on Tuesday night, and I felt like I was hungover for 2 days.
Isn't that weird?
Just from eating that shit.
Yeah.
But we're getting there. So then last night, I'm like, all right, we're going to try these burgers again. And this time I didn't cook them all the way through. I cooked them like I used to. And, Mary eats the thing like it's her last supper.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. She's like, where has this been?
Where's it been, dude?
Yeah.
I know. Well, when she goes out to the farm, she gets like all that stuff.
Yeah.
Or she'll eat a hot dog at school, which is disgusting. But, Betsy's like, oh, this is like medium rare. And I'm like, I know. Tastes pretty good, doesn't it? And then 20 minutes after dinner, she's like, we can't go so fast into this.
Slow your roll.
And I'm like, no, let's go.
Oh, it's so good.
My brain feels better.
Yeah. I got a steak last night. I haven't done that in a while, like out. I'd rather make it at home.
Yeah.
I got one last night, and it was so good. So good.
Burger or?
Steak.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Over at the fish?
Mm-hmm.
Is it good?
Yeah. I was so tired after that, too.
I made salmon at home.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't go out to eat often, and whenever we do, it's like I can't take my wedding ring off. I'm just so puffy, and it's like, all that sodium.
That's like this is my carbs pretty much for the whole day. I think there's like 48.
I was going to ask you how everything's going. Are you?
It's hard, man.
Still ripping cigs?
No.
Good for you. That was on my list. I wanted to be like, it's time to quit again, dude.
Yeah.
How long?
And you know what's weird? This is so weird. It gave me anxiety, which is like the opposite of what it used to do.
Oh, would you smoke it, you get anxiety?
Well, like, not like while I was smoking, but like having that made my anxiety worse somehow. It was weird.
Between cigarettes, or?
Yeah, but like it didn't, like smoking a cigarette didn't help it.
I don't know how you quit with my old man working down there with you.
I'll still rip one every once in a while, but I don't want one.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. 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 That's.
Oh, God.
I haven't been there a ton, to be honest. But
just not down for being in the office?
Sarah has so many meetings and with the dog, and I've just been working from the couch a lot of the times unless I can't. Which today I can't. I have to, after this, I'm going to go back and I'm going to sit there we're supposed to meet Wes and Tracy at 4, so it's one word.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, happy hour. Again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna crank at the big computer, because at home I'm working from the laptop and it's hard. At work I have an old iMac and then I have a new one, and I use both as one. One's a second monitor, and I have everything up.
I do everything
so much easier
out of the space. Yeah. I can't work at home. Even if I'm there by myself, it's like all of a sudden I'm like, well, I guess I'll organize my dresser and cleaning something up, or getting pissed because there's Legos on the floor, and I'm like, what?
Right. Yeah, no, I get it.
In this chaos.
I get it. My dog barks constantly, and that's why I do stay there, because she's on Zoom meetings and whatnot, and he's just being a maniac. And if I'm there, I can at least grab him and be like, hey, or whatever. It's funny how this little 16-pound little dog can run your whole house.
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how anybody.
It's insane. And again, he's getting older now, and it's going to be not like that forever. So I'm okay with doing that now, but it won't always be like that.
People who have dogs are always shocked when somebody doesn't have one.
Yeah.
It's Mary really wants a dog, and I'm for that one, that's one reason of many that I'm I don't want to be having to take the thing everywhere, or figuring out who or where I'm going to board it if we're going to go out of town.
Right.
And if it's her dog, I'm still the one picking up dog shit,
Mm-hmm.
I like dogs. I feel like I would have one at some point in my life, and it'd be a little prick.
Oh, yeah.
But he'd be mine.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
It'd be my prick.
And he would love you. He'd be like, yeah, that's...
we're going for a ride.
Yeah, I'm going to do dick stuff. That's how my dog is. But I haven't been to a doctor, but I'm pretty sure he's my emotional support animal. He's my dude, right? I don't know.
Well, that's good. I mean, yeah.
He's a complete ass, but...
Yeah. My mom had a dog. Who said it was my mom's dog? But, this dog was our family dog growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a poodle. I don't know what kind of poodle. But she was all black and curly. And maybe this big.
Mm-hmm.
Her name was Tisha.
Your dad picked that name?
No, my mom did.
Yeah, I know.
And this dog was probably her emotional support animal, because this thing was a little shit, constantly barking. Wouldn't always know when mom was coming home from work or whatever. It was just her dog. But the funny part of it is she never got it spayed.
Mm-hmm. That's rough.
Yeah. So once a month, she would put a little diaper on it.
Yeah, that's rough. Yeah. Your dad was thrilled.
Oh, God, dude. I think the dog ended up dying from probably fucking emphysema, because this was back in the day when parents smoked in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the long corded phone, my mom would be on the phone with friends, and she'd be like, bring my cigarettes. I don't even remember when they stopped smoking in the house.
Back when you could hang up on somebody.
Yeah. Those are the days, dude.
I know.
Those are the days. Ripping cigs in the house.
Oh my God.
Big Jim. I was telling this story the other day when got pulled over when I was 16, I think. And my girlfriend and her girlfriends, I think maybe I told you the story once, but we were coming from a party, and I had a case of Miller Lite, and the girls were all drinking in the backseat of my dad's 78 Lincoln Continental. What a great car.
Huge, massive.
Huge car, dude.
Yeah.
Leather seats.
Oh, yeah.
This was...
couches.
One of those, side of the road finds for him.
Yeah.
But I pulled off on 8th Street, from 8th Street to 31, right in front of the state cop, and pulled me over where High Tech Dental is.
Mm-hmm.
But long story short, I wasn't drinking, I was just driving. So the state boy was like, all right, well, we're going to follow you to your house, and then we're going to take the girls home.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, all right. Well,
you're sick.
Sick, follow me home.
Yeah, so I don't have to do anything.
I don't have
amazing.
Yeah. Well, I had to dump all the beer out.
Yeah, take them home. Save some time.
Get to the house, and State gets out of the car and says, all right, go wake your dad up. Tell him I want to talk to him. And I'm like, oh.
Worst part.
Yeah. So just picture Jim. I mean, Jim today was Jim 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He was thinner, though. But I'm in there, and I'm like, Dad, you got to wake up. And he's like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm. What's going on?
So I give him the rundown, and he's like, okay, well, I'm glad you weren't drinking. I go, yeah, but the cop's outside. He wants to talk to you. I'm like, okay, give me a second. So I go back to the door, and I'm just standing there with the state trooper, and here comes my dad. And he's in
underwear.
Just his underwear.
Yeah.
His hair sticking up. He comes in,
What's going on?
Yeah, what do you need? And he tells him, he's like, all right, I'll take care of it. So the cop leaves, come back in the kitchen, right to the cool Filter Kings.
Yeah.
Like, just standing there in his underwear.
Oh, yeah.
Smoking a cigarette, and he's like, all right, I'm glad you weren't drinking. Don't tell your mom.
Yeah.
Go to bed.
Go to bed. I'm going to stay up and rip this
He
cig,
did way worse shit when he was young.
I'm going to stay up and rip this cig,
Yeah.
Don't tell.
Yeah. That was the other thing. I fucking love telling these stories about my dad because he doesn't listen to this shit. So, without fail, every night at midnight, he would get out of bed, go into the kitchen, light a cigarette. He would grab a Little Debbie, like a Swiss cake roll.
Oh, hell yeah.
And eat that, and then a whole 12-ounce glass of vitamin D milk.
like full, whole milk.
Yeah, like my guy would get up and have like 700 calories at midnight.
Middle of the night.
All sugar, smoke a cigarette
God.
and go back to bed. Because a lot of times I would just be up or I'd be on the couch watching TV or fall asleep on the couch, and then he'd get up and you'd hear him.
Milk, though?
Big fucking glass of milk. I mean,
it went with the Swiss cake roll, I guess.
I don't remember. There was some point where we started drinking skim milk.
And he was pissed.
But every dinner, dude, because we didn't drink water. Mm-hmm. There would be a gallon of milk on the table. Mm-hmm. Like my mom would just grab a gallon out of the fridge and put it on the table.
Yeah.
And then we'd all just drink milk with everything.
I remember my grandparents doing that. And I'd be like, I'm good on that.
I mean, like a full glass of vitamin D is like 400 calories.
Yeah, that's like a meal. Like, I'm done after that.
What is this? Yeah. My mom would always be like, they go to the grocery store, she'd come back with 6 gallons of milk.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's what oh, you're thirsty? Well, have some milk.
Yeah. Like, that's going to make your thirst go away.
Oh my God, dude.
Dude, we have like one of those little cardboard things of milk at our house right now. That's all we buy. Like one of those little ones, and like every 2 weeks maybe we cook with it or whatever.
Yeah,
like no one actually drinks that.
We get like almond milk, which is so fucking, I think, stupid anyways. But
well,
we don't drink like a full glass of almond milk. I mean, we just use it for like cooking or whatever.
Right. I mean, that's what I feel like milk is for.
I don't know anybody that just drinks milk. Just drinks milk to drink it anymore.
Not anymore.
I was at the gym this morning, and a woman brought in a 2-liter of Pepsi.
At the gym?
And she was like 70. Like her and her husband came in, and like, yeah, that's what she was drinking.
Okay.
She was like,
defeating the whole purpose.
What are you doing?
Canceling out my work.
Laughing. I'm like, I don't want to laugh, but Jesus Christ, you can't bring a 2-liter of Pepsi in here and call that hydration.
No. They don't sell pop at the gym, right?
No, I mean, they have like muscle milk and water.
Right, for a reason.
I just heard something that water is bad for you, so I quit drinking it.
I only drink Pepsi now.
Yeah, or it has to have salt, Himalayan rock salt in it, or I'm not drinking it. Oh, Christ. Are you working out or no?
No.
Come on, dude.
I know.
I found a picture of us when my grandfather died like a month ago, and I was digging through old pictures for the picture board thing, and I found an old picture. I didn't even know why I have an actual physical picture, because it wasn't that long ago. But we were at the beach. Somebody took a picture. Maybe somebody...
Was it your birthday?
I don't know, but you were fucking jacked, dude. That was when you were going to the gym all the time. And I'm like, hey, that's... Remember when Brandon was jacked?
I could do that again, maybe. I don't know. It was probably like, 10 years ago?
Yeah, probably. Well, yeah. I don't think Betsy and I were married yet, but we were all together. And shortly after that is when you were in that movie where you dressed up like a like a pirate or something.
Yeah. A pirate.
Borderline blackface.
Yeah, it was, dude. Like, now that you think about it, and you're like, hey, I didn't do that. And I was
You didn't get paid for that either, did you?
No, they give you like food. But you spend the whole day there.
Just food.
Yeah. No, I've been meaning to start again. Like, I actually haven't been drinking as much lately.
The older you get,
we're going to Vegas next week, so I'm like, well, I can't just like quit everything before I go to Vegas. And yeah, I'll be sleeping the whole time I'm there. But yeah, the Harbor Village, I'm just gonna go there because we have access to that.
You putting your boat in?
No, our boat's for sale.
Well, a lot of times you see somebody's boat in the water with a for sale sign in it, so I didn't know if you were going to still put it in or not.
I don't know what John's got going on, but John's selling it for us. So it's probably going to be out on 55 on a trailer with the sign. And
then you're going to upgrade your golf cart game?
No, we're going to try to finish this building. Our golf cart's sick. I like the golf cart.
It is.
I want to get a trailer for it so I can take it places.
I so badly want you to get your building going.
Me too.
But I know it's money.
It's expensive. We'll get there. I'm anxious though. Like I'm.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah.
Anything you're excited about around here in Manistee? Anything that's on your radar that you're like, oh, that's gonna be pretty dope?
I mean, there's a lot happening still, right? I mean, I feel like we got a little jaded for a second there because so much was happening.
Yeah.
But it still kind of is. I mean, they're building a Starbucks. Like, their research team has some numbers, right? That's a good thing.
Yeah, people lose their minds. That's what the one thing about Facebook, dude. It's like, why is this the thing you're pissed about? We've got enough coffee shops.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like anything else.
Yeah.
When a corporate like business comes to town, they're not just flipping a fucking coin saying, I hope this works. I mean, they did research.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I mean, Traverse City has 3 Meijers. Yeah. So let's get out of here with the we don't need whatever.
Yeah. Well,
that's just dumb.
Somebody will say, well, they have 10 times the people.
Well, yeah. That's how, this is growth. The person I was talking to about vacation rentals, it was actually yesterday. And I said, here's the key. The key to any kind of economic growth or anything is people, right?
Yep.
You need more people. They spend more money. That's how your economy on a small scale like this, or anywhere for that matter, grows, right? You need more people. All right. He goes, yeah, but where do they live? I'm like, who cares? Bring them here and then figure out how to build all of that, because now you have less risk to build housing because you have a wait list of people trying to buy something or move into some or rent, whatever, Who cares? That's a great problem to have. That's solvable. Let's figure out the hard part and like bring all the people. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that grew up here, like been here for 65 years or whatever, that don't want that.
Yeah.
That is the solution, though.
Yeah,
that is the solution, though. So I mean, it
I just saw something up in the Traverse City. I don't know who's doing it. I don't know if it's the school districts that are doing it or the city is helping to find the funding for it, but like they're building housing for teachers in Traverse City.
Interesting.
Well, they want number one.
That's specific.
They want teachers. They need to keep teachers. I mean,
right.
It is specific, but I mean, like if you want to teach and you have an opportunity to teach in Traverse City and there's no place that you can afford.
Right.
I mean, starting teacher salary isn't the greatest.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's something. I know that there are some other businesses that are doing like, housing for their workforce or whatever, but that's just kind of a Band-Aid, I think. Like there's one of the things I'm going to talk to Bill Gamble about in that Dylan said that he had brought up to somebody at the chamber, I think maybe Andrew. I don't think I'm speaking out of church saying this, that all that industrial park property out there, like bringing in a company that does like manufactured homes and just building them there. Just build them there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, all those
It's a great
houses
idea.
now aren't like they were 30 years ago where they were like smaller 2x4s and stapled
Yeah,
together
no.
and all that shit. Now they're like same code.
Right.
You know? Mm-hmm. So build a bunch of fucking houses out there instead of just leaving it empty.
I don't think there's a lot left, is there?
Well, I mean, there's some city-owned property out there.
I don't think there's a lot left. I feel like they sold it.
All of it?
Not all of it, but most of it.
There's got to be
feel
a
like they
big
own
enough
it.
chunk out there.
I don't think
handful
there's
of houses.
I don't think there is.
They need to tear down Jefferson Elementary and put some houses in there.
And again, that's like how many houses are going to go there.
Yeah.
They need to get off the single family house thing. Like people who bitch about condos all the time, and condo is just a different. It's still a single family. You know what I mean? Like it has nothing to do with it being a condo, right? Like that's just a way to make more dense housing, right? So on these smaller parcels, I remember everyone was all pissed about, the guy doing the Fifth, where your spot used to be, on Fifth, on the corner by my house.
Oh,
in
yeah,
Maple.
yeah.
Everyone's all mad. Oh, condos, that's all we need. Dude, they're houses, right? They're attached houses. They're like, leave the town for one day, go somewhere and see these other places that have them, and they're in the middle of the neighborhood. They don't have to look like the rest of the neighborhood. They're different, right? But that solves that problem. Like you can build a bunch of them, in a small spot, and still have enough room so that you don't feel like you're cramped living there, right? And you can go outside and you don't feel like your yard's all cramped. I mean, I grew up in a townhouse when I was real little. We had fences on our back patio, and then there was another patio, right? Like that's just how it was. And this, I'm not 20, so this was a long time ago. And why can't we just start focusing more on the density instead of, we need to build all these houses, because we don't really need, we need to build houses too, but there's other ways of accomplishing the numbers that they need to build, right? So, I don't know. I think we'll see more of that too, like more attached style, like townhouses and rows and things like that, because there's a lot of land outside of town, which you don't have to be right in town. I get it, But as far as in town, there's really not that much left. You're tearing old houses down if you're going to do that, which I'm not against if they're in disrepair. But I wouldn't want to tear down some super nice old house to build.
Yeah.
It's not Chicago yet,
No.
right? Like where they
Just
tear down a badass like old brick house and like build this gigantic house. Like that's not going to happen here anytime soon.
I hope they get the shit together and get that Gateway project moving. I know that they said breaking ground in September, but
I mean, I hope that's
going to be. I think it's going to be great, dude.
I do too. Again, what was it? 90 million?
It's a dumb amount of money. It's a lot of money.
I mean, I love owning property on the street at that moment.
Yeah.
And again, like, I don't know. It's all of that stuff is good. That restaurant, what is the social
club or something like that? That's going on Arthur
That'd
Street.
be cool, dude. I mean, even though we're selling
They're
it above,
building it though.
I know.
They're putting a seawall in. They're building. I'm like, yes, progress.
It was
let's go.
framed yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be sick.
I mean, there's something else, isn't there? There's something else happening like that. Maybe not. I don't remember. At any rate, like, there's going to be more of that. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm pumped for it. We'll see what happens this summer.
I'm ready.
Poop stories. Short-term rentals.
Classic.
You're not smoking anymore. What else have I missed? I haven't fucking hung out with you in forever.
I don't know, man.
I'm not really drinking either anymore.
I mean, I
Beers
do,
here
but
and there, but
less.
I started this challenge like in January. So part of it wasn't drinking, so I made it through January, and then I made it through February, and then I made it through March.
Wow,
and
nice
I was
work.
like, holy shit. And then I didn't make it through March. That's not true, because on whatever day Oberon Day was, I went and had Oberon.
At the beach.
I didn't do that this year. I missed it. That's one of them conversations Betsy and I were talking not that long ago, and we were just talking about that kind of stuff. And she's like, but do you miss it? 'Cause she was kind of like, you don't really miss it. And I'm like, there's a lot that I miss.
Yeah.
Like that Oberon thing was like
right,
fun every year.
Well, and everybody would get excited.
Yeah.
Right. So, and it's fun to be a part of that excitement.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, not drinking is hard, and like going that long, dude. That's
Well, plus I'm
crazy.
training for that Ironman, so it's
Yeah.
like I'm just trying to like be bad enough that I eat like bread, like it's the only thing I eat.
Oh yeah, that's like the opposite of me.
Love carbs, dude. I can't wait to eat a slice of bread. Betsy makes fucking sourdough, so I'm constantly just eating it.
Oh, well, that's healthy bread.
That's what they say. It's like
That's healthy bread.
nothing wrong with this, not at all. But yeah,
I've noticed when I don't drink, I sleep. Like I actually do sleep. Have you found that you've slept
Oh yeah,
better?
I sleep great, but also I do that magnesium, and you said you tried it, but it was making you feel weird. But dude, I
thought I was gonna have a heart attack.
I fucking drink it 2 hours before bed, and then I get into that bed, and I'm like, see you later, and I don't wake up till it's time to get up.
I can't. I thought I was having a heart attack. I have high blood pressure though, so
I gotta get that shit dialed, dude.
I know. But so I've been taking these. It's stupid because I saw it on like TikTok or something, but they're like ashwagandha gummies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is some nonsense, and like you can get them at Meijer, and it's not like anything, it's not. There's no secret, right? Man, that actually really helped, and like my vitamins have that stuff in there already, but like I take them before bed, like an hour. I actually noticed the difference. It's like the only time I've ever taken like a gummy, well, other than like which I haven't done that in forever, but like actually taking like some vitamin gummy or whatever, and actually like been able to tell the difference.
Yeah.
Especially like within a short time frame, like within an hour, I'm like calm. I'm like, wow, that actually, how is not everyone not?
It is common.
You know what I mean?
I've taken
like,
ashwagandha just for that reason, just to fucking chill, just cut the edge,
Yeah, I mean, especially, it's spring, like selling season at work, and I'm busy, and it's stressful, and I immediately, like within an hour, noticed the difference, and I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. Like, I should have been taking these my whole life, right?
I gotta be careful because I'll go down rabbit holes and be like, "Oh, I need to take that too." And then pretty soon in the morning, I'm like, drinking a green drink plus all this shit. And Betsy's like, "Are you sure?"
You don't even eat any food. It's just all like supplements.
Just all supplements,
which you could get from eating food.
I know. Like, what am I doing?
Your dinner plate is like all these different gummies and like pills.
God. He's like, why do I always feel nauseous in the morning?
Yeah, right?
Empty stomach, just piling a bunch of plastic down my throat.
I don't take the AG1 on an empty stomach anymore. I used to.
I'm thinking about stopping it. I've been doing it now for like 3-4 years. And
this is my third year.
And it's like, they sent me a new fucking scooper, but it's like, this is not like $88 a month now.
Yeah.
And even Betsy was like, yeah, $88 a month for this. And I'm like, yeah, I know.
I do notice when I don't take it, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I'm trying to find an alternative to it that's just as good.
You know Jeff Hauserman?
Well, the name sounds familiar.
He takes one that's similar, and he swears, because he did AG1 before, and he's like, nah, I switched to this because it's like $39 a month.
Yeah.
He's like, and I feel the exact same, and he has some like gut issues or whatever, so like he's like, nope, you could switch to that and you would be fine.
Oh, let me know what it is.
I will.
It's $88 a month, dude. I'm always like, because I already, that on top of all the other supplements and shit. It's like, Jesus, I spend like $200-$300 a month on just trying to not be a fat fucking pig,
Which is wild.
It is wild. Like I'm really getting, the older I get, the more I'm like, I'm doing kind of like the online doctoring and getting the blood tests.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, I'm like this far away from fucking putting human growth hormone into my ass. So
just to be young,
just to not fucking hurt in the morning. But a lot of that's self-inflicted, I guess. But yeah, I don't
really hurt, but I definitely, like, I used to joke. I'd be like, I'm not 30 anymore, or I'm not 25 anymore, or what. But dude, like now, Like 45 feels 45. Like I don't feel sick or anything like that, but I can tell. Like,
Yeah.
you know, again, we used to joke. We're like, man, drinking when you're 25, that's a whole, you're like, now it's like completely different. And now you're 45 or whatever, and you're like, now it actually is way different.
It's way different.
You know, you have to like eat specific things and like prepare just for like, I'm not talking about like a night out partying. Like, I'm just talking about like a couple cocktails.
Yeah, I gotta have like 6 glasses of water before I start.
I gotta eat like a bunch of protein.
I gotta go to the gym in the morning just to loosen up. And I'm not talking about lifting weights. I'm like, I might do like get on the bike for a little bit and just kind of get moving, and then maybe do a row machine. And if I'm there for 40 minutes or whatever, I'm like, okay, I feel like everything's working.
Yeah.
Start my day.
Right.
You know, I'm gonna be 48 this summer, dude.
Yeah, I was at the dentist the other day, and you know, they take your blood pressure at the dentist, and she asked me, she goes, do you take blood pressure medication? And I was like, no. And I was like, I was about to ask a bunch of questions. Yeah. And like, should I? You know? And then like after it was all done, you know, I just had a cleaning or whatever. And then, you know, 20 minutes later, I'm like, hey, can we take my blood pressure again? Just curious, like if it was like I was, you know, you're at the dentist or whatever. It was higher somehow. I'm like, what is going on? And I did drink a bunch of coffee, and I do have anxiety.
The last time I went to the doctor's office, my last year's physical or whatever, when the nurse comes in and they do the blood pressure and all that, and this was the first time in years. Every time I go to the doctor's office and they check my blood pressure, it's always perfect. And she's like, oh, it's a little high. It's whatever it is. I'm like, what? I just kind of shrugged it off. And then doctor came in, we did our thing. And I go to leave. We were just chewing the rag at this point. We were just shooting the shit. And I'm checking, paying my bill or whatever, and he goes, oh, hey, why don't we check your blood pressure one more time? You know, because he had noticed it, and he checked it, and it was fine. And he's like, all right. But it's just like, you know, 47. It's just a thing now that I really got to pay attention to.
Like, you're going to have a heart attack.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's what I think that's why I sleep crappy, because I'm like, my blood pressure is like pumping, dude. I'm trying to fall asleep, dude, and I can feel my feet, you know? Yeah. And I'm like, am I going to wake up in the morning after I fall asleep, you know, which is a weird, I didn't used to think anything like that.
No.
You know?
And now I'm like, what? I mean, like, just this past year, I shit in a box for my colon.
Oh, yeah.
Check my colon.
I got to do that this year.
And, dude, I suggest doing the shit in the box thing.
Yeah.
Because it's, at first I was like, I don't know if I can do this. And then I'm like, can you help me with this?
Shit in a box.
Betsy's like, I'm not fucking helping you shit in a box. But like this, it comes.
She's like, no, I'm making this sourdough, bro. Like, yeah, you do that.
But it comes with like this thing that you shit in, and you just put it on the toilet seat.
Yeah.
And then you do it.
I've heard about it.
Then you gotta like stir it up, and you have like, you do it, seal it, take it to UPS.
Right then.
Yeah. And it's like,
otherwise you got to shit in a box again.
It's like obvious what it is.
Yeah.
And I took the jack bind.
You're like, here's my box of shit.
Still warm.
Yeah.
Set it on the thing and just say, all right. But
here's my box of shit.
Here's my box of shit. But the thing is with that, you got to do that every 3 years. And then but if you go in and have the actual colonoscopy, I think you can do that every 5 years.
5 years, yeah.
But I'd rather do this than have tubes up my ass. But I don't know. Speaking of the dentist thing,
yeah,
I don't know if you saw that post I shared a couple times. My buddy Joey, that he had cancer like bone cancer in his jaw. Non-smoker. You know, it was at the dentist, and the dentist was like, "Oh, you've got like a little thing in there."
Yeah, because they touch your
for that shit, right?
Yeah.
They had to he just got out of surgery yesterday. They had to take a bone from his femur
and put it in.
Take his fucking jaw out, dude, and like put that in there.
I've heard of that. Actually, I've seen somebody that they didn't have that technology yet.
You know, like,
yeah,
your face, bro. You know, but he looked good. They did like an after picture. Obviously, he's all swollen, but I'm like, that's amazing. You know, in my mind, I'm thinking they're going to take like half his fucking jaw.
Yeah, and I saw somebody like that before that had.
Oh, that's nuts.
Yeah, dude, that's tough. At least they've come a long way. Like, you would have went to the dentist, you know,
Even 10 years ago, they're not doing that.
Well, maybe.
You know, when they do
I'm
that.
just thinking like 50 years ago, and they're like, yeah, we're just going to yank this thing out of here or whatever, you know.
I can remember.
Now it's
screaming
way
as a kid
different,
at the
you
dentist
know.
office. No Novocaine, no nothing. Just fucking, we're just going to take that out of his
Yeah.
mouth.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's because my mom was on, you know, WIC. So
Yeah, yeah.
like, we didn't have insurance.
Right.
But that tooth's got to come out.
Yep. Yeah. You can do it at home, or we can do it right here, right now.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's probably why we drank so much milk, because you could get milk and cheese when you were on the WIC program or whatever.
Hot dogs.
What's that?
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
I ate hot dogs every day when I was a little kid for like, I don't even know how long.
Put some hot dogs in the SpaghettiOs.
Yep.
Like, our kids will never
That's probably
know.
why I need to shit in that box, though, because I ate hot dogs every day for like 5 years when I was a kid.
Yeah. Ugh. Chef Boyardee pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever have that when you were a kid? It was like, this was like a glorious
rolled
day
up?
in our household. No, it was a box of flour.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And then then you would get with it the sauce.
And you would like make your own.
And I don't know if you got cheese to go over the top of it or if you had to buy it separate, but this was like when Big Jim would be like, homemade pizza tonight. Everybody'd be like, oh, fuck yeah. Because my mom would do like ground beef
on it.
and put it on top of it.
Yeah.
You know? It was the shittiest pizza in the world, but when you're a kid, it was like, oh man, this is amazing. Like, our kids have no idea.
I just pictured a fiestada, like in school. I don't know if you guys had those.
Mexican pizza?
Yeah, we called it a fiestada.
We called it Mexican pizza.
Yeah.
I don't
it was like at school, and it was like a square.
Yep.
And like they would just spatula that shit right on your.
We had build your own sub day, and it was like going to Subway in the lunch line, except you just made it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. There's a story. We'll finish with this story. Build your own sub day. Favorite day of lunch at school. I was a freshman or sophomore, maybe a sophomore. And there was this kid, his name was Tim. I can't remember his last name, but he was kind of like he was a rock and roll kid. He had long black hair, wore a leather jacket, super quiet, nice guy. Mm-hmm. And we had this new kid in school. So these guys, so Tim was like, and this new guy, they were seniors, I think. They were seniors in high school. Mm-hmm. And this new kid, his name was Micah, came from California. And he just had a thing for Tim. And I don't know, and to this day, I don't know what it was, but he just like picked him. It was kind of like, he's the kid I'm going to bully or whatever. Mm-hmm. But, back in our day, kids just didn't get bullied. They got the shit beat out of them.
Right.
So I'm in line getting ready to make my sub. Tim's sitting in the lunch table, just maybe one table over, eating. Micah comes around, got his tray, nothing on it. Mm-hmm. Walks up to him and just fucking starts beating him in the head with this tray. Blood squirting everywhere. Girl behind me got blood on her. I'm like, holy shit, what is happening now?
You're like, cover up the sub bar.
I mean, for real, dude, 'cause I was gonna get that sandwich. And in fact, I think we just all just kind of stayed in line. Teachers broke it up.
Yeah.
Separated them. I think they called the cops on Micah, and we finished lunch. But it was like, so he got suspended. If that shit happened today, they would definitely send him to jail. He'd never coming back to school.
Right.
But I think he was suspended for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, which was a long time back then.
It was a long time back then.
Yeah.
And he comes back, the day he comes back to school, bro, Tim's waiting. So in the old high school, the senior level was at the top, and the stairwell coming down. Mm-hmm. And he was hiding behind the doors of the top of the stairs. And Micah comes walking through, and he fucking boom, pushes him down
the stairs.
Broke his arm, bro.
No way.
Yeah. And I think Tim got a 2-week suspension. Yeah. But I'm like, holy shit, this all happened during my most favorite day at lunch. Build your own sub day. These
That's
core
a
memories.
good circle back.
Yeah. I think about that shit sometimes, and I'm like, oh, I got my good friend Tim Bottrell. Shout out to Tim. Super chill, family man now, right? But I remember in 8th, 7th, maybe I was in 7th or 8th grade. So, like, you know, the old high school where the junior high used to be, the oldest part?
Yeah.
That's where we had 7th and 8th grade. And I had it was summer. It was the last day of school. It was summer break. And I don't know who this other kid was, but I remember I was coming down the steps. I was just to the door, and this kid come flying behind me out the front door. Slams the doors open, and I'm like, I kind of come out, and here comes Tim down, and just fucking tackles him, and he's just beating, boom, boom, on it. I'm like, everybody's like, yeah, he's going to be a sophomore next year. I'm like, oh, fuck, I got to stay away from that guy.
Yeah. They created a monster.
Yeah.
Again, like, when you get bullied, you know? Like this.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wild. I miss those days. I miss them. I think I peaked in high school.
Throw this football over that mountain.
Yeah. I'm glad you came back on today, man. This was great.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
I know you got a lot of shit to do today.